Hi, guys. So, welcome back. In class today, we talked quite a bit about different story elements. Now, this is important because, we especially with theme, we're tending to get kind of mixed up with the difference between theme and some of our other elements. So, all of these basics, this is just kind of a quick recap for you. Okay. I'm going to be pushing out a story elements cheat sheet that is going to have a lot of this information and some examples. So, first things first, let's talk about our plot. Okay, very simply, this is what happens in story. Okay, so this is my timeline of events. This is where I have my plot hill, my exposition, my rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Okay, this is it's very simply the what is going on. Okay, now my setting goes along with that. This is my where does it happen. Okay, where does it take place? The time, physical location, time of day, season, year, all of that, because this year is different than last year, right? If I'm walking down the street in a parka in October here in Arkansas, people are going to look at me like I'm crazy. But if I'm walking down the street in a parka in Alaska in October, probably not going to think I'm as crazy. So take into account all all the things that your reader would need to know or that the reader would need to know. Now my characters are the people or things that are part of the story. Typically this is the who does it happen to. Plot is the what is it, what happens. Setting is the where and when does it happen. Characters are who or what does it happen to. Okay. Now, my main and minor characters, we're pretty familiar with those. You have antagonists, you have which are the bad guys, and you have protagonists who are not always the good guys, but they're the main person we're following. Um, we also have characters being designed as either static, which means they're not changing, or dynamic, meaning they change and develop as the story goes on. Um, our static characters tend to be kind of like extras in a movie. Like they're important in that we have to have them so it's not weird, but not important enough to kind of be real people. Does that make sense? And my dynamic characters, they change over time. They have some sort of revolution or something where either they change physically or they change mentally or their ideology changes or something, right? Okay. The other thing to remember about characters is that they are either round or flat. Okay. So a flat character is my cardboard cutout, sort of stereotypical, not a whole lot going on upstairs type character. Okay. These are typically more of our static characters, and they typically are our minor characters. The opposite of that would be my round characters. These are the people that we get depth to. We get to see them more as a 3D person, a real person, than seeing them as, oh, look, here's the cheerleader. She dates a football player, blah, 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 right? we get to see more about them, more in depth into their thoughts, into their beliefs, into their ideas. The other thing that my stories have to have are the conflict. Okay, conflict is a big one. Now remember that conflict doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be a war. It doesn't have to be a physical fight. It doesn't have to be. A lot of times, our conflict in the story is actually pretty small. So now I start to get people that are like, "Well, Miss Cora, there's not a conflict in this." Well, there's always a conflict, right? There's a conflict right now between, do you listen to me or not? Do I continue talking to my computer screen pretending that you're there or not? Do I, you know, do I go home or do I do this tonight? What do I do, right? Also can have these like little tiffs with friends, like little mini arguments. All of these are conflicts. So we have two types of conflicts. We have the internal and we have the external. Internal is the morality, the ideology stuff that, oh, what should I do? External is anything outside of yourself. So this is man versus man, man versus nature, man versus society. Um, those are, if I'm in the weather and it's cold and I'm stuck in an avalanche, that's man versus nature. Okay. That's something to keep in mind. Now we'll go back to theme, right? Theme is my central message. This is the big picture. What should we get? This is the so what, who cares? This always has to be backed up with textual evidence. Okay, this is where the not right versus wrong, like there's not a right answer. So what you have to do is you have to prove that your answer is correct. And you do that by saying, oh, well, this is the bigger message. This is how it applies to you and me today. And then show me within the text, oh, look, right here. Right here is one place, and right here is another. And, oh, look, right here it says this, and that means this. Okay? Do not tell me plot. I can read. I can read. I don't need you to tell me what it says. I want to know what you think about it. That's what I'm asking for in theme. I want to know what you think about it. Okay? So that's your quick reference for my 5 story elements. There's also a cheat sheet that you are welcome to have. Okay? All right. Have a good day.